Hey, what's happening, guys? I hope you're all doing fantastic out there. Today we're going to talk about The Old Guard. It's now streaming on Netflix. This is based on the series of graphic novels from writer Greg Rucka, and it's directed by Gina Prince Bythewood, so let's dive into it. Charlize Theron comes in to headline this cast in a story that centers around this group of immortal mercenaries. This very small team works in secrecy. They find their existence is threatened when a large corporation wants to seek them out to replicate their DNA strand. They also discover there's a new recruit out there that has the same powers and abilities that they do, which is only going to complicate the sudden exposure they have to this company. And there are a few different moving pieces in the script, and overall I felt it was a very interesting premise. It lured me in very quickly. I really did enjoy how the story navigated around these warriors who've lasted for generations and seen countless numbers of battles from a range of different time periods. I also found it intriguing as the character arcs explored just the internal turmoil that can come from being immortal. I mean, it certainly wasn't all good for these characters. There were great sacrifices they had to endure to be who they were and do what they did, and I felt this layering really added a surprising amount of depth to the characters. I think that layering on the writing side, added with some solid performances, to me created characters that you can connect with and care about. They may be unkillable, but there was just that human quality to each of them that really subtly captured the torment that they dealt with, as well as the unit and the team that they were. So for that aspect, this film was filled with a quality collection of characters that can easily just have you invested into the progression of the storyline to see where things are going to go for them. However, this storyline overall was an area of the movie that I felt was a bit of a mixed bag for me. There were many fascinating concepts brought in to capture just the mental struggle of being an immortal. Without going into spoilers, there were just small sections of this story that were extremely intriguing to me that I wished would have been given more time, but for the most part these moments were used more for story exposition, which I gotta admit was a bit of a disappointment. It could be just a personal thing, but myself, I really found the story between the lines of the plot line that this film delivers actually being the one that I wanted to see. The story of this group having their powers exposed by a megalomaniac who wanted to replicate their DNA, while this group also finds that there is another immortal out there, you can say, was a bit interesting on paper, yet on screen, for me, it just was a bit by the numbers, and it foreshadowed too many story turns far in advance. Now, don't get me wrong, it wasn't a bad movie. It was a serviceable plotline, and I do think it was more than enough to build some appeal and just wanting to see what would happen to these characters. The performances, in particular from Theron, were pretty damn good as well. I was just hoping for something that felt a little bit more unique, that would have delivered a bit more unpredictability given the creative ambition behind the source material. And like I said, all the performances were fantastic in my opinion. Theron was excellent as usual. She hit the emotional layering of the character with ease, and like you'd expect, she was rock solid in the action and fight choreography. I also loved what Kiki Layne brought to her role. She has a lot of growth over the course of this film, and Layne was able to just bring that needed energy and dramatic layering to her performance to just round out the character perfectly for the needs of the plot. And I also very much enjoyed sections of the writing between the characters. I felt it really just effectively captured that family vibe between this group. As for the fight sequences, I thought they were all enjoyable as well. The choreography was very technically sound, it was very fluid, the performers all put in the needed work to alleviate the use of a lot of stunt men and women, which allowed Gina Prince Bythewood's direction to capture it all with a lot of strong visual appeal. These scenes were very violent, gritty, and nicely crafted overall to effectively inject the movie with a ton of intensity, although I think there could have been a few more set pieces included along the way to kind of help keep the pace moving. However, overall, I did enjoy the movie. The Old Guard's gonna get 75%. I was hoping for something that progressed with a little bit more of a unique path, yet it wasn't a deal breaker. I also think the runtime was a little too long for the story that it told. It did result in some lags during the middle act. And I would say the music in this one was a bit off for me as well. The soundtrack just felt like a collection of music composed from a YA film adaptation and I guess you could say a Fast and Furious movie, which was a little bit distracting at times. In particular, during a key action scene where it kind of created a melodramatic vibe to what would have otherwise been an awesome scene. However, there's still a lot of fun to be had here. It's not a bad movie at all. The performances, in particular from Theron as well, make it worth it, and the ideas and concepts it poses are very interesting and entertaining. So I say if you like the trailers to this one, give it a shot and see if it grabs you.
Thank you so much for watching this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, drop it a thumbs up, leave a comment below. I'd love to talk movies with you guys. Share it with your friends, and without question, hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you can never miss a video. Here are some links to some recent reviews just in case you missed them. All my social media links and the link to our official website are down in the description below, and I'll catch you next time.